Hello?
Hello.
I always forget how short it is. I'm used to like the a bit of a longer intro. Not super long, but
Have to double it up.
yeah, we'll just double it up. You get more Furbies.
Yeah,
But
true.
hello guys. Welcome to the second episode of the Vara and Virtues. I said verb. Listen, my brain is I am messed up today. We
Yeah.
considered not doing the show just because of everything that happened today and it's been crazy, but we decided to do it because, you guys could probably use a bit of a break. Like obviously, we're going to talk about the horrific event that happened with Charlie Kirk and how sad it is and just, how we feel, but we are going to dive into just our regular show to kind of so we can take our minds off of it. I feel like we all might need a little bit of that today.
Yeah, especially after seeing everything that's circulating on social media.
Yeah,
Very intense.
it was like for lack of a better term, it was traumatizing for me. Like first off, like mad respect to Charlie Kirk. I'm not you guys know I'm not someone that gets super political, where I stand and how I feel about everything, but it can get very just draining to keep up with everything that happens in politics. And I don't know if Vara agrees with me on that. I think both of us kind of more stay in the realm of pop culture and games.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, it's inevitable to touch on politics or what's happening in the political sphere, especially with topics like DEI or, even the way that some of the activists in the industry react to certain events, which we're definitely seeing a lot of awful takes on
today,
social media right now. But yeah, I mean, generally, I think that we don't need to go, very heavy handed into like political figures and our opinions on them because I think our audience generally knows our stance.
oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so somebody texted me and was just like, Charlie Kirk was shot. And I'm like, what? And then of course I don't immediately go to you, what happened. I go on X and the first thing I see is a close up of what happened and it was traumatizing. And I was like, and then like the picture under it was him with his family and like I'm going to be honest, I went full girl mode and just started crying. I was like, this is so much. I'm
Well, it's
shocked right now. What is
terrible.
happening? What is going on with this month right now? And,
Yeah.
I was praying so hard that he could make it, but it's like when you've seen what happened, it's just like
It's
I was just
hard to imagine somebody coming back from that. And we've definitely heard some shocking stories of people being able to recover from really horrendous things happening. But when you're actually watching a video of it happening, even though it just happened minutes ago, it's very hard to imagine like the positive outcome.
yeah, like of course you said we've seen miracles and you've seen like Tim Pool was like, "Oh, he's stabilized." And I was like, "Really?" Like everyone's like praying, praying, praying like, "Please." And then, we saw the message that he didn't make it and I'm just I've been like in a fog all day trying to get my emotions together because I'm like, and then we were talking about possibly not doing the stream, and I was like, maybe not, but then I'm like, I think we should because I felt like you guys would appreciate it. We're gonna pay our respects and then just move forward with our regular show. We've got the Conjuring Last Rites review and some game stuff to talk about. So thanks for being here, guys. I know you guys are also probably fatigued and just like don't know what to do right now. So thank you for hanging out with us for our second show.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. But yeah, people celebrating, I I want to say I don't understand it because I don't, but you can't put your mindset like when you're a sane person, right? We're relatively sane people here.
Sane, what's that?
Not according to certain people, but I mean when somebody says something to me, like they try to hurt my feelings or they say something I disagree with, I don't automatically go, I gotta go beat this person up. Well, not you, America. Sorry. I don't know how sane Americus is.
We are.
But like as a kid, when it's like sticks and stones, I break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Like that's not how the liberals think. Like I
Oh
mean,
yeah, absolutely
what
not.
I the just the celebration is insane. Somebody and the fact, like, okay, left and right don't like each other, whatever. But Charlie Kirk was so like chill about it. He just debated and he did it in a classy way. He didn't cuss people out. He didn't yell. Well, meanwhile, he's got these demons screaming in his face the entire time. Like I
Yeah.
just call them demons now because let's be real, a lot of them are just freaking demons. All right,
Well,
like
right. He
there's
respectfully encouraged discussion and discourse, and then this is what happens to a commentator. It's fine if you don't like his stance or you vehemently disagree with his opinions, but at the same time, these people, they go from 0 to 100 so quickly, and then they sit here and they claim that they want an end to gun violence, but you can't claim to seek or you can't claim to seek an end to gun violence and simultaneously celebrate it. And that's what we're seeing happening on
Mhm.
social media today, which is just terrible.
Yeah, and I can't fathom, even if I didn't like somebody, like like somebody I couldn't stand,
Right,
if
it's
they
one thing to
died.
not like somebody's opinion, but it's another for your mind to go in that direction. Like, I want the worst thing possible to happen to them just because they have stances you don't agree with.
Yeah, like I get it. Okay, well, let's use an extreme example. People celebrated when Ted Bundy died. Now, he was a serial killer and he kept escaping. So it's kind of like, we tried to keep him locked up, but he kept getting out. So I could understand people celebrating that. He was an evil person. But just because somebody has an opinion that differs from yours, you want them to die, that because there's no coming back from that. I don't wish death on anybody.
Oh,
Like
no,
even the evil
absolutely
people,
not.
like I think if you're like an evil person that's done like, killing and everything, you deserve to just rot, in my opinion. But I do understand why sometimes it gets a death penalty. Like again, an extreme example was Ted Bundy because the dude just like kept crawling through vents and getting out and killing more. So,
Yeah.
it's time for you to go, dude. So, but seriously, it's just watching some of his debates. It's like he kept his cool. I don't even know if I could have kept my cool if I had these things reeing in my face like that. And he was just
Oh, yeah,
class. He was
absolutely
so
not.
classy about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if he was rude, why wish death? Like, just how about just don't watch him? Don't go have a debate with him if you can't handle it. Just there's mute buttons, there's block buttons. Use them.
Yeah.
But these people, they hate follow, and they just let it fester in them, and they start frothing at the mouth, and it's heartbreaking to see the celebration because he's got a family, he's got kids. Now they're growing up without a dad, all because somebody got angry because he said some stuff that they don't like.
Yeah, these
It
people don't want somebody on the opposite side of, in this case, the political spectrum from them to be able to even exist anymore.
yeah, it's heartbreaking, and the thing is, they feared him, right? We'll say they is like the left because what he did was, and he was what he was
He was
doing was.
very impactful.
Yeah, he was very
Yeah.
impactful, taking the time to go talk to the younger generation. And actually, I'm sure there was quite a few minds that he actually changed because he sat there and talked to them,
Oh,
listened
yeah.
to their points, even though he doesn't agree with their points. And he just changed. I know he changed some minds. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's been videos out there, but they don't want that. They don't want, the generation alpha and the youngest Gen Zs to be like, huh. They don't want them to do critical thinking and think for themselves and not just be
No, they want them
brainwashed.
to follow the hive mind, brainwashed mentality. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So he scared them. He was a huge voice. Even my mom, who's not online, like I told her what happened, and she's like, when I said his name, she's like, "Oh, it kind of sounds familiar." And then she looked up and she's like, "Where have I seen him before?" I'm like, You've seen him. Like even
Plenty
people who
of clips on
all
social media
over.
and
Yeah.
on the news, and yeah, plenty of places.
Yeah, and then the whole like he handled the whole South Park thing great. He loved it. He thought it was so funny that they had him on South Park, and that's the way you who I forgot the lady's name who didn't handle it very well. What was her name? The ice lady who like got really upset and because of the way they portrayed her, like with her face coming off and stuff. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I
The chat
do.
will probably say her name. I totally forgot. But he was just like, yeah. Same with JD Vance. They're like, yeah, I made it. Oh, South
Yeah.
Park. Um,
I've seen
I
a lot of people today almost blaming South Park, and I don't necessarily think that that's fair either. I I think that yes, there are certain people, especially on the left, that will take something like that and go, see, we're being listened to, and all these people are hated even by the creatives in Hollywood and on television. But and then you have other individuals, in particular on the right, who will say it's unfair. But at the end of the day, a show that makes fun of basically everybody, I don't think you can really point to and say this is the content that led to a moment like this. I think America is reaching a tipping point.
Oh, yeah, there's the culture war. this was a turning point. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not to be dramatic, but I am scared for what's gonna happen. Like, I don't, you know, it's not really that I'm scared of, like, the people on the right, because the crazy thing is they wanna act like the right are the ones that, "Oh, they like guns, so they're gonna attack us." Well, how come you keep attacking the right then? You guys are the ones that have the mob mentality, that can't listen to reason and, can't do a
Oh, by
peaceful
the way,
protest.
the name we were looking for was Christy Gnome.
Oh, okay.
I
You know what? Someone
forgot.
someone said it in the
Yep.
chat. I forgot to highlight it. Thank you, chat.
It's okay.
And thank you. And I know it was gonna bug
Yeah.
me if we
I
didn't
was
like
sitting
say
here
it.
thinking about it. I'm like, I know who this lady is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty scared for what is to come, because I mean, just this month alone, it's what happened in North Carolina. Like, I know I'm not gonna be able to pronounce her last name. So I'm not gonna try, and Chad's gonna yell at me for it. Uh, but Arena, probably
Yeah.
pronouncing that wrong too.
I
Maybe
think you're pronouncing
I
it
think it's
right.
Arena. That video shook me as well,
Yeah.
because it's
It's
just the
hard to watch such brutality on social media, especially when, again, it's like what we're seeing happening today. It's not just we need to protect humans and humans' lives matter. It's a divide. And that is hard to definitely watch.
okay, Americas. Thank you for being the comedic relief that we need tonight.
Yeah, we all definitely
Seriously
need a little
though,
bit.
we do. But no, that video, just the fact that you see her, like, when I first seen it, like, I'm like, she died, because you see it and it's like she's just in shock, and I'm like, maybe she made it, and then I'm like, no, the report was saying that she died, and then you see just all the blood, and I was just like, it's just like, she escape a war, and then to come here and she's just sitting on a train and she sat in front of the wrong person.
Yeah,
That is terrifying.
it is
And that
definitely.
I couldn't fathom that. It's like, if I've seen people just like fall in front of me. Are you okay?
Yeah,
She gets stabbed and there's blood
that's what
everywhere
a
and nobody walked
decent
up to
human
her.
being does is check
Yeah.
on other people. Again, as you know, we always say it shouldn't boil down to, oh, well, I'll help you if you're on my side politically. It should just boil down to, hey, this human being, it needs help, and that's what the main focus should be.
Yeah. And it just got worse, because at first I only seen like the first thing and I was like, "Oh, that poor girl." And then like a longer video came out and you just
Yeah.
see it looked like a horror movie.
Oh yeah,
Just
absolutely.
the blood pooling down, falling from where she was sitting. I'm like, and then this stuff with Charlie, that is gonna like live in my head forever. Like, that is gonna be something that I will randomly think about the video. Like, I wish that I know, like, people, like, it should have been, people are showing
It's
it, like, you need to
inevitable that you're
see it.
going to see it, right?
Yeah, but I feel like, just, and no hate on anybody, because I think a few of my friends shared the video. I just couldn't do it, because I felt, out of respect, I immediately thought of his family. And at
It's
the
so
time,
hard to imagine when his wife comes back to social media in days, weeks, months, years, whatever the time frame is, and then you know that there's going to be those people who are celebrating it who post those photos onto her thread, which is just horrendous to imagine.
yeah, exactly. And I do realize that we need to be angry about it and see the stuff and get upset. I
Oh
just
yeah,
felt like
absolutely.
that at that moment, maybe not. Just like,
Right.
we didn't know, like, we figured after seeing the video that he had passed, but we didn't know he wasn't pronounced dead yet. And it's just like, oh, I just wasn't ready for it. And I'm not saying, like, don't share it and stuff, but like, if I was her, I
Well, right,
probably would
because if
never
you
go back
start
on.
hiding it and then ultimately you're censoring it, it kind of becomes easier to ignore it, and something like this shouldn't be ignored.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think of, like, my mind immediately went to his family.
Oh, yeah.
But they're probably not going to be on social media for a while. I know. I don't think I would ever go back on.
Probably not, no.
If I did, it would be years probably. But yeah, it it's just so sad. Like, I'm pissed and sad. Like,
What
I
makes it
I
even
don't
worse
even.
is how dangerous this scenario is because, first of all, they've had two people in custody, and both of those people were cleared and released. So the person who committed this violence isn't even in custody at this point in time, from what we've heard. And second of all, obviously, neither of us are as big as Charlie Kirk on social media, right? Our platforms are significantly smaller, but this sets a very dangerous precedent for any sort of commentator on either side of the political spectrum, right? It doesn't matter what your opinion is. It is very dangerous to simply be somebody who is exercising freedom of speech and being vocal about issues you feel passionately about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just always gonna get me that it's like he was just so chill.
Yeah.
And they got so angry about it. And the celebrating is just, I'm not surprised by it, but it still hurts as a human to see fellow humans acting this way. Like, you're celebrating something so final. This person is gone forever and you're upset what?
And we see the
Because
types of people who are committing these acts. I mean, it's the violent left. It's all them. Republicans, to my knowledge, are not going around shooting people.
no. Last I heard,
It
no.
speaks volumes, right? Like,
It
I
does.
mean, you just have to take a look at all of these fucking statistics. It's
Yeah.
all the lunatic left.
Yeah.
The
It
very
is.
people who go on
Absolutely.
social media and say, we need to respect them or else. We need to call them by their preferred pronouns or else. We need to feed into their illusions or else.
Yeah, it's the party of love, right?
Right.
Until you
The
disagree with
tolerant
them.
left.
The tolerant left. Yes.
Proving why they're tolerant.
And real quick, because Schick said he's heading out. I'm not skipping super chats, guys, but Schick wants his Megatron. There you go. Thank you, Schick. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. And I will catch up to the other super chats. Don't worry. Just he needed it. He needed his Megatron. So I should have brought the plushie out for you guys next time. But yeah, it's this whole, like, we can get into an argument, like, not us an argument, but like get into like the whole like gun thing and all that. But I don't think it's the time for that. But that's something that is upsetting, where they're just like, well, this is what he wanted. And it's like, yeah, no, this discussion gets a lot deeper. There's a
Yeah.
way to
He wanted to be able to exercise freedom of speech.
exactly.
And he did.
America's like,
And-
please.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's hi Blabs. Yes, I figured you would. In case people don't know, Blabs has bins full of Furbies.
She does.
She does. I've seen a few of them. She showed them to me, like, I got this one and this one. I think she named one Wicked and one Vara because she has a brown one and a yellow or a orange one. So we are in her bin now.
I actually don't own a Furby.
Neither do
I
I
used to have one, but I don't actively like own one that I could show off.
I have a Gizmo Furby that was sent to me.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's still in the packaging though. I don't want to take it out.
Yeah.
I should take it out of a box and, at least post it up for our show.
Yeah.
But here, real quick, I'll catch up on some supers and then we'll pull up some of these articles. Wow, that's not creepy at all, Blabs. This is true. I keep looking at Vara Furby in my basement.
Thanks.
You're getting
Blabs.
dangerously close to it. Puts the lotion on the skin there, Blabs. Cajun Corey for 5. I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me. You got a half snort laugh. She's coming around, Corey. Maybe try again next week.
Just because I've heard it before, but it's still kind of funny. It's a half laugh.
Yeah, half laugh. Good job. Hokies, thank you for being a member for 27 months. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Prayers for his family. Yes. I don't know the age of his kids. I know they're little. He's got 2 little girls, right?
Young, yeah.
Very young. And that's just, that's heartbreaking. That's what got me. Like, it was traumatizing seeing, the video. But
right.
then
It doesn't
for
matter
me,
who
right
it
under,
is to know that this happened and knowing that that family is now without their father figure, their husband. That's horrific.
yeah, it's gonna be, I pray for those girls that they grow up and they're, stable and this doesn't obviously it's gonna affect them. You see, like, especially girls sometimes that grow up without dads,
Well,
they
unfortunately, also, I don't know their exact ages, but they were there when it happened.
that's what I
So
heard.
that's
Yeah,
even worse.
his oldest was right next to him. That's oh, it's a boy and a girl? One daughter just celebrated her first birthday. Oh my gosh, that's just heartbreaking. Like that's what got me because it was the video, and then right under it was him and his wife and
Yep.
kids, and that's what like just broke me. Is mm-mm. Jerry, thank you for being a member for 5 months. When light inside goes dark, a soul needs a spark. Reach inside your heart, find you will that special part to stand and see, reason to achieve victory. Thank you for the poem, Jerry. He's our resident Scottish poet. The jabroni for 5. Don't forget he had 2 really little children that no longer have a yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
that's one of the worst parts of this. I would say probably the worst part, because he had his family and now they're fatherless, and that's heartbreaking. That goes for 5. All he said was facts with receipts on all of them in a calm voice. Left are the real yeah. You can't say that on YouTube, can you?
I say NZ.
NZ, yeah. I
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know, so I just like don't say it because I
Yeah.
don't know what you can and can't say.
Yeah.
Hyper, thank you for the Canadian 5. These people don't want to hear anything other than what's already in their head. They immediately resort to violence as a means of asserting control. Exactly. It's a very just low IQ mindset, right? Like
Yeah.
just imagine someone
Very
tells you,
self-centered,
yeah.
egotistical.
Yeah, like imagine someone just like comes to your face and is just like, "I don't like you. I think you're stupid and I don't like your hair." And then you just like smack them. What
Yeah.
like that's I wouldn't do that. I'd just be like, "Okay, thanks for the info. Peace out." Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't wrap my head around
Well,
that
because you're
mindset because
not
I'm not like
mentally
that.
ill.
Yeah,
So your
that's
mind doesn't instantly go to, I need to hurt this person or cause them harm because I don't like what they have to say or because I disagree with them. It's like Republicans and libertarians are not going around shooting people. Charlie wanted discourse and debate, and I would say, like, if he couldn't change your mind, he accepted that. It's not like
yeah.
he was saying you were the worst type of person in the world if he couldn't change your mind, but ultimately he tried to open up ways of communication and discussion. And I can't think of anybody off the top of my head on a whim on the left who did what he tried to do. And even going into other figures like Steven Crowder, for example, even
Yeah.
Tim Pool.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen obviously, I haven't seen all of Charlie Kirk's stuff. Like I was
Well,
what I was
yeah,
gonna get into
no.
earlier is that, I probably have only really seen the viral stuff because it's not that I stay away from
Well, he was
politics.
vocal and he was
Mhm.
constantly on like tours basically to try to have discussions with people, which is, so good of him to do.
Yeah, it's
So
he did more
impactful.
than a lot of politicians. And the fact that he actually wanted to sit down and listen to why these people thought this way. And then like you said, if he couldn't change their mind, he accepted that and
Right.
moved on. He didn't yell at them, he didn't freak out, and that's why it's like the people celebrating this, it's like you're really you were so upset that someone doesn't have the same viewpoints as you, who
Right.
didn't treat you like crap, like would actually listen to your dumb rees. That's what I call it,
Yeah.
like screaming in his face, and he's just like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Um,
He was trying to make an impact on universities and he was doing a pretty good job of it. And he was only 31, so it's not like,
he was young.
he was right a political figure and he was, a politician of any sort. So he had a very bright future ahead of him,
Yeah, he did, and
especially
that's
with everything that he had done in, just really a few short years. I mean, I don't know exactly when his clips started going viral, but they were several years ago already. He was probably like 25, I'd say, right around there is when he really started like gaining notoriety online.
yeah, yeah, probably. I mean, he probably had a career in politics. I could have seen him
Yeah.
getting into that. I mean, he was, close with Trump and oh, I don't know. It's sad that it's just like I said, I'm just I'm pissed off and sad. That's all I can
Oh,
say about it.
it's
And it's very
infuriating.
and if you see us like laugh, guys, you're not laughing at the situation. It's because our emotions are all over the place right now. We're just
Oh
girls,
God, yeah.
okay? We're just
Well,
girls.
then again, we usually sit here and we giggle, and laugh for several hours. So it's just kind of what happens with us being
Our
together
emotions,
naturally.
yeah, and our emotions are all
Yeah.
over the place at the moment. So, uh, Monty for 22. Hats off to you girls for going through with the episode. This shocked us and was so suddenly too. And thank you for being the much needed voice of reason. Thank you so much. Sorry for kind of butchering that super chat. Like I said, my brain is foggy.
So it's been a day.
And I said Monty. I say Monte. That's what I call you now. See, I messed up your nickname already. Sorry.
Hmm.
So let's like I said, we're starting it with talking about Charlie Kirk. So let's get a couple of these things out of the way here. Some of these people saying dumb stuff, and then we'll move on to something a bit more lighthearted. The Conjuring.
Great.
Possession.
Demonic entities. Great.
Okay. So I don't know if I should open up the article or just do this. Kotaku, that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yes.
Founder Brian
Crescente? I don't even know.
Crescente mocked death of Charlie Kirk on social media hours after fatal shooting. All right, I'll open it up. From that Park Place. Thanks for sending this. I didn't even see this.
Yeah.
So game journalist or scum continued. So what did he here he is. Imagine being upset that the architect of the insurrection attempt that's a bit dramatic. And
We're already going there
we're
from
already
1 to
dramatic.
100.
3 words in. Cool.
Yep.
An active COVID and election denier and climate change denier getting shot. Who knows how many deaths could be attributed to this dude? Really? That is I'm sure there's been a lot of dramatic takes, but wow, this guy is not a man. This dude is a woman.
He's
I
a
don't
little
care.
soy boy bitch. What an
Yes.
absolutely fucking degenerate take to have. That's really where your mind goes, well, I think he was a terrible person, so why should I care? He killed people. Why would you say that?
He
That's
killed
wild.
people.
Who?
He convinced one person not to get the shot, so that person died. Yeah, I'm sure that didn't happen. I don't know.
These are the people that are running the games media. These are the people that are influencing our entertainment. And they constantly say, oh, you guys just see through a political lens. Everything's about politics to you. This is your response. Somebody with an active following, somebody who is part of the media. This is the image you want to have, and you really think that people are going to look at you as like a normal level-headed individual after having this be your first public take on the situation?
That's like how about just like don't say anything? You remember when our moms used to be like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just these grown adults need to learn.
It's
from
perfectly
children.
fine if you don't like all of someone's takes. There's plenty of people out there who have different opinions. I'm sure you and me don't agree on every single thing to the freaking letter, but that's okay. Not every single person has to agree on every single thing. But of course, these people are brainwashed and they push a all or nothing mentality. And if they don't like even a single take you have, you are scum of the earth to them.
Yeah, it's you know what, Charlie, you're right. That's why I could just call them demons. Let's call them what they are.
Yeah.
People like this that just celebrate death, like I can't wrap my mind around it.
They don't want to treat people like human beings anymore.
Oh my gosh, and it gets worse.
Yep. Of course it does.
Oof. Charlie Kirk's boys should have used the same team that faked Trump's shooting. This is what happens when you try to save money on your false flag operations. Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, because I'm sure he wanted to get shot in the neck in front of his children. Yeah, I'm sure. Brian, just shut up.
They always say that we are the conspiracy theorist, brain rotted nut jobs. Of course, that's the general take that they have, or the image they try to push of really anybody who is not on the left. And yet this is their theory, that it was supposed to be a hoax and it was supposed to be faked, but then the person faking it failed. They say that our rhetoric is dangerous, but yet they're saying their take is perfectly sound.
Yes. It makes so
Wow.
much sense. Like he was trying to fake it and he accidentally killed it. Like, yeah, totally makes sense, Brian.
It's like when the Trump assassination attempt had happened, we saw like David Jaffe and Alyssa Mercante all doing the stormtrooper memes. Like, I get you might not like him as a political figure, but you claim to be tolerant and then you have opinions and you make jokes like this?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
different if something happened years and years and years ago and the person themselves, they got through it, right? That's one thing. But it's another to again actively sit here and influence your audience on a topic like this when we don't even have, or at this point, right? Because this was several hours ago, we had absolutely no information at all whatsoever. By this point, I don't even think that it was confirmed if he was alive or passed yet.
Probably not. I could click on here, let me. This was oh no, well Grums was at 6:09.
Well, that was the
Okay.
screenshot of it,
Yeah,
so
so I don't
yeah.
know. True. Yeah, probably not though, because it didn't get confirmed right away. So it's just like just don't say anything. Like if you don't if someone that you don't like passes, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
How about that? Like I don't these people are just disgusting
Yep.
demons, and
Absolutely.
I'm never gonna stop saying that. That's what they are.
Yep.
Because
Absolutely.
I celebrating I mean, people did the same thing with Hulk Hogan when he
Yeah.
died. Like there was a teacher in Florida, or I think she was a teacher, or like I don't know if she's superintendent, something like that. But there was like a staff parental meeting, whatever thing going
Like a
on.
PTA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
I
knew
knew what you
there was
meant. Yeah.
I knew there was a name for it. I just
Yeah.
couldn't remember.
Parent teacher
As somebody who used to work at a
something.
daycare and preschool, I know things. But no, the one tweeted something or like put on Facebook like one less mega, and they're like, yeah, you're supposed to be a teacher and you're acting this
Right.
way, and a dad came up and very calmly, wasn't screaming or anything, but called her out for it. And she's like, "Get him removed, get him removed, get him out of here." And she was like freaking out. And then like they were going to remove him, and then one of the higher up people were like, "Well, we actually wait, no, wait, we actually can't do that." And it is just insane. Like your politics don't align with mine, so I'm glad you died. What
Yeah.
kind of logic is
That's
that?
a
It's
terrible, terrible way to live, is viewing everything in the again, like through the political lens. It's like I always say with video games, even if I don't agree with a developer's opinion on something, if they can still create good, unique, fun entertainment, I'm not going to condemn them just because I don't agree with them politically. It's of course their actions that speak the loudest. So if they act like a normal person, just be like, yeah, I have completely different opinions than you, but I can still make good entertainment, then I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, I hope that they lose all their jobs and they're homeless and I hope something terrible happens to them. That's terrible. And whenever you call these people Marxists, they say you're, oh, this big conspiracy theorist and you're terrible, when truly, of course, they all really are Marxists.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I use that example with like actors, actresses.
Yeah.
If they're terrible human beings, like to the point where they've done like assaults or killed someone or something, okay,
Well,
it's
when
gonna be
you've
hard
done
to watch
something
their stuff.
illegal, right,
Yeah.
it's very different.
But if they're just like a douchebag, but they're
Yeah.
good at their movies are great, I'll still
Yeah.
watch. I don't care. I can separate the art from the person in
Right.
that
It
case.
is becoming increasingly hard to do, especially when people like this definitely want you, they want harm to come to you because they don't agree with you. But it's like the Ghostbusters 2 quote, which of course I love: being miserable and treating other people like dirt is every New Yorker's God given right. Like, you can be a douchebag and that's perfectly fine, but you're going a step too far when you're wishing for something bad to happen to somebody, or you're sitting here saying, I hope it happens to more people.
Yeah, no, that's just awful. That's you're
Yeah.
miserable and you need Jesus. That's all.
Yep.
They do. They really do though. Like I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
But so more idiots. The writer of Red Hood #1 by DC released today. It's long past time to flush the trash creators out of comics. Enough is enough. So this, that's the name, Gretchen Felker. No wonder she's so angry. Thoughts and prayers, you Yahtzee biatch. Really? This is why I call them demons. If they can call anybody they disagree with, you're a istaphobe, a Yahtzee. That word doesn't even mean anything anymore. Let's be real.
Well, no, that's the problem, is that they will sling around the most intense words possible, but then people become desensitized to them, and then we sit and laugh when you call us these names that should, for all intents and purposes, have very significant meanings behind them, but because they throw them around constantly, we're desensitized to it. Why would I care that you're going to call me an ist or a foe when you say it like the word yes and no?
Exactly. And then is this a she or a he?
I think it's a he that became a she. I think
it's an it.
I don't know. No comment.
No comment. I don't know. Hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. Like, what? You're a retard. I'm sorry.
No
but I'm
general
not.
regard
Like,
for
what?
human life.
And it's all like the Mean Girls, and it's like, raise your hand if you've been personally hurt by Regina George. That's these people. Never even talked to him, but he said something they didn't like, and they're just like, my feelings. It's the same thing as getting hurt physically.
Yep.
But even then, like, if somebody like punched me in the face, I wouldn't be like, I want you to die. I'd just be like, ow, and then go get ice. Like, whatever. Or maybe fight back if I had to. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I mean, you're no stranger to that. You had, what's her face? Alyssa Marcante try to fight you, and you were like, sure.
Yeah, and then she threatened to beat me up in a back alley because she didn't like my opinions.
Yeah. She's like, she's a real gamer. And
then she threatened me in direct messages. She's like, you better watch it or something's going to happen. Like, this is a major issue, is that these people have this mentality and then they threaten you and you don't know what they're really capable of.
Yeah. Didn't you say that like you would do it for charity or something, and then she like blocked you?
So initially she had done that like viral clip where she said, fight me physically, bitch. And then I had reposted it and said, okay, we'll do it. And then I was like, I'll put money down on it. She's like, well, I would want it to go to charity. Obviously, I think most charity or most matches like that go to charity. So like, I didn't even think of clarifying it goes to charity, because I think that that's just kind of where any normal person's brain would go. And then we actually had Keemstar's fight company wanting to set it up, and she didn't want to. Suddenly, oh no, suddenly that's not a good idea.
She's like, I don't want to get beat up by a gamer girl, a real gamer girl.
She's like, I don't want you disgusting people to profit off of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's she doing these days? I haven't seen her around.
I think writing for Rolling Stones occasionally. I think that's about it. So
that don't mean much these days.
She attacked YouTubers and streamers for low effort content, and then she tried to become a streamer and a YouTuber, and it didn't really work out for her
because she's got an awful personality.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet she probably hate watches all your streams.
Probably.
Hey,
for when this clip gets back to her.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So one more clip here that we have on Charlie Kirk, and then if we have any final thoughts here that we want to talk about with Charlie and like, pay some respect to him, then we can go on to some pop culture and kind of take our minds off of this for 5 minutes. Risk it. Sorry. Okay. So MSNBC suggests the man who shot Charlie Kirk was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration. These people are truly heartless.
This
blew my mind.
Me off to no fucking end. This is really the rhetoric that you're pushing, and we're talking right after it happened too. Because this was like maybe 30 minutes after. This is initially where your mind goes, and you say that we are dangerous conspiracy theorists, yet you push rhetoric like this? Someone shooting off their gun in celebration?
Woohoo, I'm excited. Oops, accidentally got him in the net. Are you kidding? Like this, I replayed it like 3 times because I couldn't comprehend it. Like it wasn't sticking. I was like, this isn't real. And this is why people don't watch the news anymore.
Nope.
In which a shooting like this
You guys can hear it, right?
Yes.
happens.
Yeah, and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea. But
do they? Is this what liberals think? That conservatives do, because I'll be real, I live in Florida and I absolutely exercise my rights, but I don't go outside and go woohoo. I have it for protection,
like Boogie 2988.
I'm just like, yeah, woohoo, I'm American.
MSNBC is the worst of the networks from the left, that's for sure. And I want all of them to put the fries in the fucking bag.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. That, I think, out of everything, because I'm not diving deep to see anything, right? I'm not on TikTok because it's a cesspool.
Oh my gosh, I bet TikTok is the worst place on earth right now.
Yeah, I bet. I've been off TikTok for a while, and I'm so glad that decision was made when it was, because anything that I would have liked from TikTok, it'll be on Reels. It'll be on Shorts. I'm fine.
According to Google, as of September 2nd, 2025, MSNBC has an average daily audience of 912,000 viewers. So they are pushing this dangerous fucking rhetoric to over 1 million people. And luckily, there's a lot of individuals on social media who will call them out. And I actually think that they were basically forced to apologize over that comment. But it's still terrible that it was made in the first place. Especially right after the event happened and you had no information. Like, why is that where your mind first went?
Yeah, so my takeaway from this is I'm hoping that it wakes people up, because if this doesn't, I don't know what will.
Oh,
because
I put the link to the apology in the private chat, which really it's I'm sorry I got caught.
One of those.
Yeah.
Okay, here.
Oof.
Okay, that guy that said that?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, crap.
Yeah.
That's how he really feels, though.
I'm going to lose my job if I don't apologize.
He should lose it anyways, because he's dumb.
Put the fries in the bag.
Exactly. Hold on, I forgot to
Wicked with the hot take.
Because he's dumb. Sorry, you guys had to hear me say that. I know it was real rude. So Justin, MSNBC forced into apologize, and look at forced.
Right. It's not that they genuinely felt remorse. It's, well, I'm sorry I got caught, or that we're taking so much heat over this.
Yeah. So, for attacking Charlie Kirk, calling him things like divisive after he was shot. Okay.
But following up what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech, or sort of aimed at certain groups.
He doesn't push hate speech.
No.
At all. He didn't push hate speech at all. In fact, it was the opposite, because he was getting hate left and right. People, like, of course, there was a couple people who kind of, like, I've seen that debated him, cordially, but for the most part, it was the blue-haired.
I don't think I've ever seen a clip of him like melting down or freaking out, or even being what I would consider close to being rude.
Yeah.
Groups, and I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Take a shot every time he says hate. Oh my God.
What was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this.
That's awful.
Who is constantly sort of pushing this.
Wait, it didn't restart? He just is repeating himself?
I don't know.
Sort of hate speech, or sort of.
No, I think that repeated.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, is he a robot?
No. Kind of, yeah.
Kinda. Oversized glasses. Hey, hold on.
I think both of our glasses sizes are pretty normal.
They're normal. I'll get big ones and just change it around on them. I'll get really big ones, be like, look who's got the big glasses now. But yeah, that's such like an AI response. Like he spreads hate. So like I just like kind of thought, whatever, that like his people wanted to shoot guns for fun because he spreads hate
Right.
everywhere
He
goes.
talks
Like,
about
make
hate,
it
but
make
he's not talking about the hate that is primarily happening because of the left committing violence against people that they disagree with.
Yeah.
It's hate until he agrees with it, and then it's, somebody standing up for themselves or defending themselves or whatever narrative they want to push.
Yeah, but I didn't see an apology in there. They were
No, it
forced
really
to apologize.
wasn't.
That was not an apology. That was
No.
just I don't know
We
what that
acknowledge
was.
people are mad.
Exactly.
Boo-hoo, basically.
Exactly. Like, yeah. So we said that because he spread so much hate, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. Like,
Right.
I haven't seen anything. Again, like I didn't watch all of his stuff. I've only seen probably the viral stuff, but I didn't see him spread hate. He spread facts, and I guess that hurts their feelings because they don't like the truth. They don't want anyone to tell them that there's only two genders, and factual stuff like that.
Yeah, he wanted discussion and discourse, and these individuals can't fathom that because they don't know what discourse is anymore. They don't know what discussion is anymore because they're
No.
so close-minded.
Absolutely. I remember I've told the story before, but I don't think Vara's heard this. So this was before so when I got, we'll say for the lack of a better term, red pilled, I was like in the middle. I grew up in a conservative family, like conservative Christian family, but like for me, I didn't like vote or anything because I didn't know the facts. And I'm like, whatever. I'm just here. So yeah, but I had friends. I grew up in New York, so I had a lot of very liberal friends.
Yeah.
But I didn't really think of it like that at the time because again, I wasn't like paying attention. It was whatever. We just hung out, whatever. And so I had one who was definitely extremely liberal. And I had heard the term what's the I can't even think about it right now. It's the other pansexual.
Oh,
and people were talking about it, and I was like, this was probably like 7 years ago or so. And I was like, what does that mean? And she's trying to explain it to me. And I'm a person who's just logical, don't get political or socially anything like that at the time. And she explains it to me. And I was like, so it just means bisexual then. And she couldn't get mad at me because I wasn't trying to fight with her. She's like, well, it's like I put a light bulb on in her head. Like, wait a minute.
Right. Like, what it really is this?
How can I explain to her that she's wrong when she's not wrong? Because I was like, what? And I still say that. I'm like, what does it mean? Like, they like pans? I'm confused.
Well, right, because it doesn't make sense. It's like,
yeah,
of course we see the reinventing of terms or the co-opting of terms happening so often by these Marxists where they'll claim it means something, but they'll either twist the definition or in some cases they come up with absolutely wild new terminology, which really just means another word, but they don't like the first word because they didn't create it. It's like in Hollywood how, oh my gosh, it's the first black actor to be in this type of role or the first lesbian or transgender or whatever, but then the cycle repeats because they always need the attention from being the first of something.
Yeah, I did it first.
Or
like,
claiming of ownership of something. Very egotistical.
Yeah, risk it. Do you want to watch like some of Trump's statement before we end the Charlie Kirk discussion?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. Thank you, Risk It. I appreciate that. While we're waiting on that, let me catch up on the supers, guys. Thank you so much. AP, thanks for the 5. This girl said she met me at a vegetarian store, but I've never met her before. That's good.
Okay,
darn it, you got
That's pretty good. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Corey's like,
Drats, it
my
wasn't me
mortal
tonight.
enemy now. Corey, thank you for the 5. At the height of their popularity, the Spice Girls added a new member, Pumpkin Spice. It was the beginning of their fall. Corey. You know what? We were already giggly because of AP. We're not giving you that one. Zero Omega, thank you for the 5. 10 years ago, all these journals were based in gaming. What the F happened?
Gamergate. Yeah. They realized that they didn't care about video games and they thought that they could make money and become political figures by talking about politics, and because they couldn't make it at any of the MSNs right? Or the MSNBCs, they had to co-opt another industry, and that was the video game industry. And then they realized, wow, well, this isn't working, but I'm already in this like political pickle where I've already started voicing my opinion, so I guess I need to try to push it into entertainment now. And that's what we see with the access media. It's what we see with developers and studios. And I mean, it was all made significantly worse because of, you know, movements like Me Too, and we saw how the industry shifted with all the accusations, and it's a clusterfuck.
It is. I love how you said that. I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
Though. Like perfect timing.
Great.
Buddy Pal Chief Big Guy for 2 says Psalm 23, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Thank you. Thank you, Buddy Pal Chief Guy. We need as much of that today as and every day, but yes. All right. And we have this from Brisket. Thank you. So this is President Trump's he delivers an Oval Office address about the tragic incident involving Charlie Kirk, posting on Truth Social. This is a dark moment for America. It is.
Yeah.
This whole month, like, is just, can we rewind, please?
Yeah.
Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the 2 young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
That was very well said.
It's a very good statement.
That was very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's and I 100% agree. I mean, this was an attack on oops, it's playing again, sorry. It's so loud in my ear. It was an attack on free speech, Christianity, and just patriotism. And we've been seeing that for a while. A lot of this for longer than we've even been alive,
Oh,
honestly.
absolutely.
But like the patriotic stuff, like I've talked about this on streams before, but you remember 9/11, and you can probably agree with me that during that time, the nation has, at least in my lifetime, has never been more together, and everyone was so proud to be American.
It's so hard to see so much of the divide now, and how, I mean, there is a side that will resort to violence against, their fellow Americans and their kin because they disagree.
Yeah. And it's so sad because like growing up as a kid, like if kids start like spewing political stuff, it's just their parents coming out. Like if they're a very strong, like liberal or even conservative, like no
Right.
9-year-old has an actual like political opinion.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely not. Not, obviously I was very young when 9/11 happened, but
Same.
I mean, looking, back now and even, similar tragedies, it's honestly now kind of hard to imagine that sort of united front just because of how different everything is now, all
Yeah.
these years later.
Yeah, like I remember growing up, like always hearing like people attack like Republicans, and like as a kid, I actually thought that Republicans were like retarded, right? Like my mom wasn't like that. My mom was kind of like me, like never really. She was definitely conservative Christian, but wasn't into politics, right? Because
Right.
people think that like conservative, you have to be Christian, but no, you can be conservative and not be Christian. Like that's the whole
It's
argument people
because
have.
the
but-
liberals say that they're the most well educated, and of course, Republicans are backwoods hicks who,
Yes.
shoot their guns in the air and
That's what I do
pound
on
beers
Tuesdays.
and right, like that's just a normal day for them.
That's just a Tuesday for me.
It's just political propaganda, though.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so, I don't know if this happened for you too, but people around me a lot of times they like made fun of the Republican stuff, and I was kind of like, oh, whatever. Like I'm a kid, so I didn't know. So I'm like, oh, or this side's really awful, huh? And then as I got older, I'm like, wait a minute. Because I started paying attention, because the reason, like I said earlier, I didn't really get into it when I got like red pilled, we'll say, it's because of all this nonsense that people I personally knew were sharing on Facebook, like lies about Trump and just, people on that side. And then I realized, like, I actually looked into it just like one time. It was like a photo that was photoshopped. There was the one like with him and Epstein, and it ended up being Trump's daughter. And it was like Trump in the 90s and like Epstein in the 2000s, and it was photoshopped. They made it like into this weird thing. And then there was another one that was like, it was this woman that was wearing a shirt that said like "Make America White Again," and that was
Yeah.
photoshopped. It was "Make America Great Again." And I'm like, huh. So then I went down this rabbit hole and started paying attention, and I'm like, why aren't you guys questioning anything? And then I started getting people that I grew up with like getting mad at me. Like this girl who I was best friends with for a really long time just completely deleted me on social media, didn't say a
Right,
word
mad for opening your eyes.
because I didn't fall into that believe all women thing with the judge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. And the funny thing is, not to get too deep into this conversation, she actually was friends with someone who lied on a guy and almost got his life completely
Whew.
ruined. So she's seen it and she knows she lied.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but you've seen women lie before and
Yeah.
almost completely ruin another man's life. But you're like just jumping on the bandwagon of believe all women, right? Like, but
Yeah.
did we have this conversation? No, because she just completely blocked me out of her life because she was afraid to have the conversation with me.
I'm very lucky that I grew up in a very like libertarian home because I was homeschooled after 5th grade, and so I wasn't really indoctrinated the same way. I mean, we could sit here all day and I'm sure rant about the public educational system and the school system and all of the problems that run rampant within it.
I would
but
say that was right of your
Yeah.
parents to do, because like elementary
Yeah.
school, like cool, let's socialize you a bit. But then when they start actually trying to plan stuff into
Oh,
your
yeah,
brain, get out of there.
absolutely. Yeah,
Agreed.
and I grew up in a pretty libertarian home, and I'm very lucky for that looking back, especially with the way that, the kind of the divide is today. I was able to grow up in a way that I was able to form my own opinions, which I am, yeah, just very grateful for looking back now. And I didn't really have a moment where everything kind of clicked or I started really questioning things. But for me, I grew up playing a lot of like video games and Magic the Gathering. And then I kind of saw what Wizards of the Coast was doing with a lot of their products. And that's when I guess my eyes were kind of opened. And, all those years ago, I started talking about censorship and the state of the industry. And well, now we're here.
Now look at us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never would have thought that I would be like at this point. Cause like I said before, I didn't care. Like I just was like just hanging out, going to work, playing games, going
I
to see
feel like
movies.
usually you
like,
either grow up in an extremely political household or you grow up in a household that doesn't, I don't know, put politics on a pedestal. And I feel
Mhm.
like it's usually one way or the other. And yeah, I mean, it's good that you didn't grow up in a home where they wanted you to be pushed into like a very specific, I don't know, mindset. And that's a big problem we're seeing with a lot of the lunatic leftists on social media is the way that they're indoctrinating their children and
the only thing we
the
can hope
things
for
they're pushing onto these kids.
it's awful. But one thing I'm like, what I'm hoping for is that because you've seen like, I've had friends growing up that their parents were very like authoritarian or,
Yeah.
they forced maybe like religion in a certain sense. Like I had a friend whose parents would drop her off at church and then they left. And I'm like, that's not how what? Makes no sense, right? And of course she grew up not being religious because of that.
Right.
So, you know, I'm hoping that with these super libtard people that are shoving these stupid ideas into their kid's head, that they're gonna like get a friend who's like on the other side and just be like, that makes so much more sense. Or they decide to rebel against their parents and go to the total opposite. Like I feel like that's all we can hope for. And it may happen because it happens all the time. So
Yeah.
I hope so because I've seen like a few like Gen Alpha. I think that's like our going to be our saving grace because Gen Z's already kind of just like messed up.
I feel like on in like the age brackets of like I'd say 15 to even maybe 30, I feel like people are they're either very strongly opinionated on politics or they just don't care. I
yeah,
feel like it's very polarized. It's very one or the other and there's no middle ground. I don't necessarily know if I believe that like a middle ground exists for
Mhm.
every single thing in life, but because like it's very hard to find a middle ground, especially with the people that we're talking even about now with the liberals. But I feel like people are either just very opinionated or they do not care,
yeah,
especially
fair.
when you're looking at 15 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah, I have a few friends with kids that are like, younger and in like the 15 range that are like kind of based. And I'm like, please tell me that this is what this generation is going to turn
It's
into.
honestly a little bit shocking.
It
There's
is like
so many
and
based younger people now
I love
because
it.
they weren't for a while. That's
Mm-mm.
for sure.
It definitely started with the millennial. Sorry, guys. Okay, some of us aren't retarded, but some of us are very retarded. It's okay. But I have a couple of Gen Z friends, like younger Gen Z friends who like own a house, and like I'm like, oh, congratulations.
Whew.
I don't even own a house, but the millennials we kind of got screwed up, so it's
Yeah.
hard for us to own homes. But and that are very like conservative and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah, because
oh.
you're millennial, but I'm Gen Z, so like I was right on that line.
You're on like the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like I feel like it's the I don't know. It's like I know a couple Gen Zs like you that are like very based, but then there's some that I'm just like
Yeah.
the ones that like ate Tide Pods. Those
Yeah.
ones are the ones that scare me.
Jesus Christ. The fucking
She's
Tide
like, you had
Pods.
to bring that up.
Oh no. No. And the people that were like eating batteries and like trying to that's not okay. You know what? Maybe suddenly I'm for certain people being banned from the internet.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe you
being
should go away.
anti-censorship isn't working out because you see people doing stuff like that and it's crazy. How
It
can
is.
somebody do that?
I don't know. And
Ooh.
then like Snickers, I think it was, were like making didn't they make like a candy bar that kind of looked like a Tide Pod?
Yep. Yeah.
They're like, let's just take them out now. The ones that will eat the Tide Pods, let's just confuse them and
These insane
know.
challenges.
Yeah, I actually was just about to say this. Natural selection.
It really is.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Let me get these supers and then we'll I guess we can move on. We'll say
Yeah.
our we'll wrap up our thoughts on Charlie and then get on to the Conjuring. AP, thank you for the 5. They say becoming vegetarian is a huge mistake. The first one was funnier, AP. You got us with the first one.
It was a
but thanks-
banger.
It was a banger. Like you would, but thank you. We appreciate that you tried again. And thank you for
Yeah.
the 5. And Psychotic Mongoose gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Mongoose. Oh my gosh, you're still awake right now. It's like 4 a.m. for him.
Whew. Yikes.
Yeah, maybe he's asleep now. I don't know when he sent that. But if
Maybe.
you're still here, thank you, Mongoose.
I appreciate the dad jokes, especially
Yeah.
how heavy the conversation is. It's good.
Yeah.
Extra
see?
appreciated.
They're healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monte's soul.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, just like wrapping up the thoughts, I think I've already kind of hit this one, but it's an attack on free speech, Christianity, and just patriotism. And I am a little scared for what's to come next. I think the culture war is just getting started. This was definitely a turning point. So I really hope. Oh nope, he's still up. 3 a.m. He's like, not 4, it's 3. Okay,
Yeah.
Lar, why are you guys yelling at me? I don't know. I don't know things. Yeah, I'm scared for what's to come, and I hope things don't just get way worse.
Yeah, I
That's-
mean,
but
God
I
bless.
feel like it will.
Yeah, God bless Charlie Kirk, his family, and God bless America.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right. So now moving on to something light. The Conjuring.
Demons.
This is the last Conjuring thing ever.
Surely.
So they say. Okay, so we're gonna start with the trailer. This came out last week, and it's supposed to be. It's so many different times. Everyone's like telling me different times in the chat. Well, for me, it's where's my phone? It's over there. It's 10:10. So
Yes.
that's the real time. So what we're gonna do when we do these reviews, we're gonna show you the trailer and talk about it a bit, and just like we did last week if you were here. So here we go. Here's the trailer. Oh,
No audio.
do I have? Oh, I have it muted. That's why.
That's okay.
Whoopsie. Take 2. That was actually a pretty good trailer. I think I may have watched it when it first dropped. The trailer.
It was really well laid out.
Yeah, didn't give away too much, but still gave enough to get you, excited. So my thoughts on this one. Oops, I popped something up. I thought that it was a fine addition to the story. So this is the way that they are labeling this is it's the last rites, right? So it's going to be the farewell to the Conjuring series, but not the Conjuring series, that just Ed and Lorraine, their goodbye. So, if they actually were doing that, I would say cool, but I don't think they are. And I'm not mad about it because I actually do enjoy the Conjuring movies. I watched them for the first time last year. I know I'm very late, but it's fine. I binged them last year, even The Nun and all that. And I thought they're good spooky movies. And they're based on true stories, even though Ed and Lorraine have very controversial public
Image.
public image, like are they just doing it for money? Did they really help people? We don't really know. It kind of points to a lot of it may have been bull, but I don't know. So it's basically the Warrens' retirement, and Judy, their daughter, kind of steps forward and takes a bit more of the center stage in this movie, which I thought was fine. She has kind of her mom's powers, I guess what we call it, like where she can
Yeah, abilities.
abilities, yeah. So yeah, that was fine, and I liked that, you know, they took it back and showed them as kids when she was not kids, maybe young adults when they were pregnant with her. But Vara pointed this out earlier, and I really agree with this, that they just did that because they're gonna introduce these younger Ed and Lorraine's, and they're gonna take it back to the prequels, which we will get to that in a minute. But overall, for this one, some good jump scares, some good psychological horror. I don't want to give away too much because it did just come out, and you guys might want to see it. But yeah, they connected it to the past, which was interesting. They haven't done that yet in the Conjuring movies, not that I can remember, really. I know they've talked about stuff where they actually showed them as younger adults doing their first
Real case.
yeah, their first real case, and then, you know, setting it up for the future. So yeah, it wasn't just like another ghost story. They kind of add a little different kind of flavor into it. I liked it, and I would say it'd be a fitting swan song if it really is their swan song, and I am not so sure that it is.
Well, we know how Hollywood loves to milk a franchise for all that it's worth, so I definitely don't think that this is going to be the end of The Conjuring. And really, I have a feeling if they do end up going through with some sort of prequel, we're going to see them fast forwarding and bringing these two main actors back just because they really are the face of The Conjuring. But I quite like this movie. I still think that Conjuring 1 is the best and then 3 is the second best, but I thought that this was a very nice addition. It was much slower paced because it was supposed to be much more emotionally impactful, given it starts with them being younger and then it ties the item, which is the mirror, ties in later on to the story, and their faith and resilience are really put to the test in this. And I love the family angle. We don't see a lot of a family dynamic in Hollywood entertainment anymore. It's like it's taboo at this point. They don't want to show a normal family, but I really loved the especially mother-daughter connection here, because not only do they have similar abilities, but they also are two characters that they don't have a deep emotional connection at the beginning, where the movie continues, they grow to really understand each other more, because like Judy is very hesitant to tell her mother of her abilities and the struggles that she's going through, and I thought that that was really nice. And I loved a lot of the cinematography in this. There's a shot in the kitchen when the mirror is first brought into the house, and then you actually see the main female character sit down. There's the cross over her head, and then of course later on that shot is brought back because they're showing the entity. And I loved, as it was highlighted in the trailer, the wedding dress mirror try on. I thought that was beautiful. And I felt that they went very heavily into the aesthetics of The Conjuring with this movie, because some of the other ones, they were clearly lower budget, like the first one, and so you had a very limited scope and scale. But in this one, it really felt large and in charge. These people really put a lot into the shots, even with the shot where they're in the like church building and then the doorknob is turning and the cross is upside down.
That freaked me out.
There was a lot of really fantastic imagery in there. And one thing that bothered me the most about this movie isn't really that big of a deal, but one thing I don't like with the Conjuring films is the timeline, because this one is really bad about it. They play with dates very badly. So this movie is set in 86, which is 22 years after Judy's born, but in real life, Judy would have been 40 because she was born in 46. So that's why we're on our third Judy recast at this point, and that drives me a little bit crazy, because I love to see one consistent actor, like Patrick and Vera were consistent actors in these films. And I love that, but it felt kind of jarring to meet another Judy. Now, I felt that this actress looked so similar to Bryce Dallas Howard. It was insane to me. There were so many similar shots, so I hope we see her in more in the future, because she did a really good job portraying these very deep, emotional, impactful moments.
Yeah, she did. You know, I can't remember the the rhyme that she repeats, like when she's trying to
Yeah.
shut it out with the poly, not poly, I said Polly Pocket, but put up something in her pocket. Like the way she just like would get so emotional with that when she was doing it, you felt it. I agree with you. Like with the cinematography too, bringing you in, like and the priest with the cross on fire, and he was still holding it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like that. There were so many scenes that just really pulled me in, and it was like a bit more slow paced, but I think all of the those scenes like that really paid off for it. The jump
None of them
scares and
felt random. Yeah, it all
yeah,
felt like
no.
it was leading to the bigger picture.
Yeah. And there was the scene where she's like rewinding the VHS tape and she has to keep rewinding it 'cause she wants to see who blew out her candles, like things like that. Like I love
Yeah.
stuff like that. They really they filmed it fantastic. So um I would give this, gosh, I don't know. Let's just say I'd give the first one like 10 out of 10 because it was really good. Cheap
Yes.
but doesn't always mean bad, right?
Yeah.
And they were just starting. And then I actually thought that I thought the second one was the third one because I binged them all last year. And so I agree with you on the first and the third being the best. The
Yeah.
second one was good, but it, especially after like hearing about the real case, and fun fact, for those of you who didn't know, the second case was the one where they went to the UK in London, and like the family's house was taken over by um a couple of entities, I guess. I don't know. There was the one like
The
Bill.
man in the chair.
The man in the chair when the little girl like has a deep man voice. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that case, I actually recently just learned this, even though I've watched documentaries and stuff on Ed and Lorraine. They had nothing to do with that case. They
No.
went to it and they got
They
kicked out.
consulted.
They consulted and they got kicked out. So the movie was still fine. It was a good movie, but 1 and 3 I would say are the best. The Nun is probably the one that scared me the most. I don't know if it was the religious stuff, but there was a couple parts where I was just like, whoop. Okay.
There was a lot of intense imagery in that one as well.
Yes. So for this one, I think I'd give it like a solid like 8 or 8.5 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah,
I know
I
the reviews are kind of
definitely-
all over the place with it, but I would watch. This is a solid entry to the Conjuring series. Like I would add this if I was having a marathon for sure. I
Yeah.
wouldn't skip it.
I definitely agree. I felt like they did a good job, which again, we know that it's probably not really done, but I felt that they did a good job with ending these character storylines. Now, of
Mhm.
course, the Warrens have so many cases that
They're like a
could
1,000,
be
right? Or
worked
more.
on, hundreds and hundreds, and they had talked about them on Coast to Coast AM. So I would be fascinated to see how they're going to play with those cases potentially in the future. But the real life Judy and her husband continued their organization and continue actually consulting on similar cases as well. Now, in the age of social media and the way that the internet is, it's definitely very different than what Ed and Lorraine were doing.
Absolutely.
But they still are definitely very important, I guess we'll just say, in like the paranormal space, which I think is cool. So there's a lot that they do still have to work with if they decided to continue like Ed and Lorraine's storyline, which in this movie they do highlight several times the younger set of actors. And I believe that they want to do a prequel with those younger actors. And I think those younger actors actually did a very good job. And I'd be
thought so.
curious to see, right, how they could continue the storyline, whichever case they really decide to highlight in the future. But I feel like the casting for the Conjurings were always really solid between these two actors and even all of the Judys. I feel like we've
All of
gotten
the
8
Judys.
million of them, but they all did a really good job.
Yeah, I agree with that. So it says the opening weekend of The Conjuring Last Rites has been updated to 194 million. Do you know
Whew.
what the budget was? I don't know if you have the number for
I
that.
believe it was 50 million.
Wow. Okay, so it breaks the world record for the biggest global opening for a horror film. Now, I don't know if I accidentally unbookmarked this, but let me see, because I think I took a screenshot.
The Conjuring Last Rites budget was $55 million, and right now, worldwide, it has made $226 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I accidentally unbookmarked this, so sorry that I don't have it up on the screen. But The Conjuring: Last Rites is already the fourth biggest horror movie of the year after one weekend. Number
Mhm.
one was Sinners with 366 million. Final Destination: Bloodlines was 307 million. Weapons was 251 million, and then this one at 194. And it's gonna get higher because this is the first weekend.
I feel like The Conjuring has longer legs in
Mhm.
theaters than these other films just because The Conjuring is such a big name, but only time will tell either way. It's been very clearly extremely successful, and that's probably why they don't want to let the Conjuring universe go. I know that they had referred to it, I believe it was James Wan, had referred to it as phase 1 being over. And now they're moving into phase 2 and they want to do 3 phases in total. Like we've got the MCU over here. So phase 1 is apparently
We got
done
the MCU
after how
over
many
here.
movies in total?
Yeah. Well, speaking of moving forward, we've got a surprise for you guys. The Conjuring TV series is moving forward at HBO
Oh my
Max.
gosh, I'm shocked.
I can't believe this. Nancy One from Supernatural and Jessica Jones will serve as showrunner.
Now, I really like The Conjuring, so I'm not
I'm not
mad
mad
or
about it.
upset that they're continuing it in some way. I just also don't know how I'm going to feel without these two actors being a part of it because they did such a phenomenal job and they had such good chemistry on screen together.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, which that's where it might go wrong, right? I mean, I don't know what the TV show is going to be. I know that, there's
It
other
could be
things.
completely different characters that maybe do something similar and just loosely based off
Nope,
of
we can't read it. Sorry,
the
I'm not signing up.
Warrens.
Like, sorry, I'm not signing up for Variety. Yeah, I don't know. It could be something completely different. I will definitely check it out. Like, I agree with you. I like the Conjuring movies, so let's see what they do. I like that it's going to be HBO. If it was like Prime or Netflix, I might be like,
I feel like
I have a bit more
HBO
hope.
starts off so good and then their shows end so poorly. Cough, cough. Game of Thrones,
Oh,
The
yeah,
Last of
that's
Us,
true.
the list goes on.
But
so.
to be fair, I think we knew The Last of Us was gonna suck because we
True,
know what they were we knew that.
Joel won.
I didn't watch the second season. I watched the first one, and then I'm like, okay,
It's not worth it.
I'm just gonna stop right here.
Yeah. Stop
yeah,
where
you're
it's
right.
still good.
They have they don't have a great track record.
But I could see a Conjuring series being more of an anthology where each season is a different story. So then it's not like they're trying to expand a story out for a significant amount of time, which was the problem with something like The Last of Us and also Game of Thrones. So I think that if they frame it properly, it won't be a disaster for them. Unless the ratings really trash, then it's a problem.
Yeah, then we're just kind of that's what I feel like that's what always gets it right. Like we'll see like a great cast and they'll be taking like something really interesting like, The Conjuring, and we're like, "Oh, okay, this is probably going to be good." And then the writing is so bad that not even a
Womp
great
womp.
actor can fix it, right?
Yeah,
Like
no.
we've seen that a lot where they try to fix it. They do their best and it's like pretty good for them,
Oh, yeah.
but the writing just absolutely kills
There are
it.
amazing actors that unfortunately can't save bad situations.
Exactly. Like I think we had this discussion about Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I thought that when she was playing the doctor version, right, the normal version, she was great as Harleen Quinzel, but then as Harley Quinn, I just felt like she didn't do that good of a job, but that's because she was written into a poor part.
Yeah, it's very true. So this I guess this was about the show because there was so much stuff. They just after opening weekend they were just like boom, psych, not the last rites. So a Conjuring prequel is reportedly in development. So I'm guessing that's the show, maybe, unless they're doing a show and then they're going to do prequel
Potentially.
movies. I don't know, but I had this bookmark too, so I'm like, let me pull it up in case it's something different. But there's no article linked to it, so
I'm always up for more Conjuring or I guess horror and slash thriller content, so I'm not opposed to it. I just hope that they do eventually get to a point where if they can't figure out any more good stories to tell, that they just stop.
Mhm.
instead
Yeah.
of just continuing it as long as possible.
Yeah. No, I agree. So the thing with this is, right, like I'm very big on let franchises die, right?
Yeah.
Like if it ends, great, but this kind of leans more towards like reboots and stuff. Like they're bringing Buffy back, and I'm like, no, it's like
Mhm.
just don't do it. They're doing a Goonies sequel.
Right,
We
there's
don't
no
need that.
point.
You don't need that, especially for Goonies, because so we've seen, Cobra Kai came back. That was great. Top Gun came back. That was great. But there was more stories to be told. Something like the Goonies, there's not more story to be told there. That was a one and done, just like, fun little story about some kids finding treasure and saving their parents' house. Like there's nothing
Right,
else
we
to
don't need
tell
an
there
MCU phase 1 for
for the
these
Goonies.
films, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sloth has kids.
Great. Exactly what we
Right?
want to see.
But The Conjuring, I feel like works because again, like even in this last movie, they said someone asked the question, "How many cases have you done?" He said 1,000.
Right.
So I don't know if that's true for them for real.
It's
Probably
dramatized,
it's
but
dramatized, but they probably have
there's still a
hundreds.
lot
And
of stories that they
yeah,
could
so
tell.
they can just keep telling stories, and it's like okay, that's fine if it works. Just like Vara just said, if the writing's there, which these days it's not usually, but if they keep the
Hit or
same people,
miss.
yeah, hit or miss. If they keep the same people or at least some of the writers on board for these projects that did the previous Conjuring movies, then I would have a little bit of faith. I hope it's just like a fun story because I came into this thinking like everyone's like, it's kind of like mixed reviews, I guess, but I liked it. Like I said, it's added to my list of binge watch if I do Conjuring movies, like, you know, so it wasn't bad at all. So we'll
No,
see
I
what happens with the
definitely
show.
agree. I thought that it was a nice
Eh,
addition.
dang.
What's
Dang, Adam, shots fired. My God. Came through swinging.
Oh man.
Sorry.
It's really true though. It's really true.
It is.
Great casting, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, for real.
Anyway, gosh. Cursed images. I did think that this movie was a nice addition to the Conjuring universe, and I definitely be interested to see what else they could create in the future. Was it the best movie ever? No, but it's definitely not a 30 or 40% like the critics are rating it. We know that the critics almost always rate horror very low, and I just don't feel that it was an experience that deserved to be slammed. It
No.
definitely had a lot of good moments, even if it was a little bit slow and the pacing was perhaps a little bit off. It was still a really good experience, and I don't regret watching it.
No, not at all. Not at all. Especially when it comes to horror movies, I've seen worse.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so I'm just curious to check. I actually should have put before the stream. I should have put my review on Criticless.
Yeah, you should do that so we can show it off.
Yeah, I'll do it in a
True.
second. I'll just do something quick. But before I do that, I'm going to show Rotten Tomatoes, which I think like 79% is not too bad. That doesn't say that they hated it.
Yeah.
I think-
79% I'd say is fair, but a 57 is way off in my opinion, and it was previously under 50.
She really does freaking look like Bryce
She
Dallas
does look.
Howard.
There were so many shots in there where I felt like I was blinking very quick because I was doing a double take. She looks so similar to Bryce Dallas Howard, and I think that she did a really good job
I
with this
liked her.
very emotionally intense role.
Oh yeah, because it's like you could still see I mean, just in this image right here, like the child, like in her eyes, still
Yeah.
like that little girl's still in there. That's like fighting these demons and everything. But she's about to get married and stuff. And I liked her boyfriend or
Yeah.
fiance, whatever. He was a nice little addition.
Tony, yeah, he did
Tony,
a really
yeah.
good job.
Yeah, agreed. It was cute. Their little love.
Yeah, and
let's
this is her
see.
first, I would say, major role. She was in a couple of smaller thrillers, like The Beast Must Die, and also she was in the docuseries for Netflix, The Lost Pirate Kingdom. But this is her first
Oh, she was
big
Anne
role.
Bonny.
Yes, she was.
I knew she looked familiar. Okay.
So she's been good in the couple of things that she's been in. So I think that she does have a pretty bright future as an actor, especially judging by this performance.
I'm so glad you said that because I'm like I thought that it was the Bryce Dallas Howard thing, and but no, because I do a pirate podcast with Drunk 3PO and a
Yeah.
few other people, and we reviewed that, and
Yeah.
I made the one thumbnail, and it was her,
Yeah, yeah.
and now I'm like that was her. She did a good job on that. I think she was our favorite in it.
Yeah. She's been pretty good, so hopefully that continues though.
Yeah.
You never really know with actors. Sometimes there's a couple of good things and then they completely fall off the map. But she's got a very, I would say, recognizable look to her, so she could be in a lot of different things.
She could, and she did. I'm like now I'm blown away by that.
Yeah.
I got a message to the pirate group chat and be like, guess who is in the Conjuring movie?
I finally
And
figured it
Barbie."
out.
Yeah. Yeah, don't mind me while I'm talking. I'm gonna type up my little critic list review here. And then post it and we'll see what they say. I'm gonna give it a rad. Are you on critic list?
I'm not. I could be
you
though.
should. You should. It's fun. And it's, to review and thank you, Risk It, for putting critic lists in the chat.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah, you should. You probably blow up on there because I mean, if you like reviewing stuff, it's fun, and you could also do like add like your YouTube review. I think you got to pay for that, but you can put it on X and be like, here's my review on it, and like I'm gonna go on live to talk about it. Which is what I meant to do, but I've just today I've been in a fog.
An
It's been a
absolutely
day.
crazy day, so I definitely understand why you did not get around to it. But yeah, I thought that it was a very fun experience, and I'm happy that they ended up releasing it. I know that it kind of went through a little bit of development hell because of the writers' strikes. It faced some problems around that time, and they weren't really sure what they wanted to do, but it was definitely a good addition to the Conjuring universe. And yeah, during a rewatch, I would definitely watch it again. Like I there's a couple of these spin-off movies that I don't know if I'd want to watch, but it would rank in one of my higher slots for all of the Conjuring movies. How many are there even at this point? Let me
So there's
check.
4 regular ones,
Yeah.
right? And then there's 2 Nun movies and 2 Annabelle.
There's
one?
9 in total.
I only counted 8. Which
Oh
one
my
did I miss?
goodness,
I'm
The
not counting-
Exorcist.
Oh, that's I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah.
Was that the one that everyone didn't like?
So the chronological list, I don't think that this includes the last rites, but it's The Nun, Annabelle Creation, The Nun 2, Annabelle, The Conjuring, Annabelle Comes Home, The Curse of La Llorona, The Conjuring 2, Devil Made Me Do It, Last Rites.
I did see them all.
So there's
Okay.
quite a few. I don't know why The Exorcist put themselves on this list, but they shouldn't be, because the Exorcist isn't part of The Conjuring, is it?
No, it's
I didn't
not. That's
think
why I got
so.
confused. I'm like, I didn't watch the newest one. I went
Yeah.
last year or 2 years ago. I went to the Halloween Horror Nights house and it smelled like puke. I was like, this is disgusting. They did it
Yeah.
on purpose because Exorcist, but yeah. All right. Okay, there we go. I think that's a good enough. I'm not a robot. Oh, hold on.
Are you a robot though? Wicked, are you sure?
People have said that they think I might be AI, so
Yeah,
I might be. I
maybe.
start glitching out then.
But
I know.
I think I've seen maybe I haven't seen one of those Annabelle movies. I didn't even realize there were 3.
I think I saw them all. I saw the one of like the girls in like the home, right? That was the first one, and then the one like in the apartment.
Yeah. But
Maybe I didn't see the
don't,
third one.
I don't think I've seen The Curse of La Llorona. I hope I'm saying that right. But I haven't seen that, I don't think. But I've seen both of the Nuns. And yeah, I think that I've seen all of the Annabelles now looking at the posters. Either way, most of these movies are at least decent entertainment to pass the time. Are they like the best things ever? And I'd sit here and sing their praises all day? Probably not, but they're still pretty fun.
Yeah, they are. So I've seen the Nun. I'm looking at them now because I need to see the
Yeah.
thing. Annabelle Creation, because that was the one where they, the girls were like in a home. The Nun 2, yes. Annabelle, yes.
Annabelle Comes Home was really boring.
I don't
from
know
what
if
I remember.
a teenager and her friend unknowingly awakened an evil spirit trapped in a doll. Oh yeah.
I
That was
liked the
one they're
actors.
basing,
Yeah,
Judy.
because I liked McKenna Grace as Judy. I thought that she did a good job, but I thought that in general that movie, yeah, was pretty slow, maybe, because it was primarily just set in the home.
I didn't see The Curse of La Llorona, and I love
I haven't seen it either. I
Linda
don't think.
Cardinelli. Maybe we should add that to our list and
We
review
should.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it up. Because so if you guys don't know, maybe one of my mods could also drop the links in here. On both of our Discords, we have
Mhm.
a section for this show. So if you have like a movie you'd like us to review, or if you make any like memes or funny stuff, you could also throw it in there.
Yeah.
Anything that's like related to this show, and if you something you'd like to see
So
us
basically,
cover,
anything you find funny or entertaining.
just pop it in there.
Yeah.
Okay, here, let me share. I did a quick little critic list review here. So I gave it rad. The way critic list works, this is like the second to best. If I went up just like one more point, it would have been most excellent, which is the highest score
Yeah.
you can give. So 79%. What did I say? The Conjuring Last Rites works because it's not just another ghost story. It's a chilling conclusion that honors the characters of Ed and Lorraine Warren while delivering the scares that fans expect. It's a fitting swan song that reminds us why this franchise has been so successful. So it's just a very like
Yeah.
short
I definitely
review.
Agree.
Yeah. So it looks like the audience score on Critic List gave it rad. It's only 17 voters. Again, it'll probably go up or down depending on, people going to see it. Not everyone was like, going to see this right away like me and Vara. So some people, let's see, we got a heinous, some rads, bogus, decent, rad, most excellent, decent, rad. Okay. So it is a little bit mixed. It
Yeah.
probably, if there wasn't like the heinous or bogus in here, it probably would have been jumped up to most excellent, but we'll see. We'll see what it gets to. But yeah, I should look up real quick. What was the one As Above, So Below?
I love As Above, So Below.
Let's
It's
see what the
such
ratings
a
are on
good
this.
movie, in my opinion.
Oh,
Nobody's rated it.
only 7 voters, so I think it needs to get to like 10 or something to make it. But
I
let's
thought it was
see.
really
Look at
interesting. These
Okay.
people are haters. They don't know what they're talking
She's
about,
like, forget the
guys.
bogus one.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
It's
These are
actually
not
not that
professionals.
They're not Rotten Tomato level.
Yeah,
Well, these 3
definitely
thought it was
not.
most excellent. This person thought it was bogus, and these 2 thought it was rad. So, if Vara's gonna hop on there and give it most excellent, and it's gonna jump up
Yeah.
to most
Yeah.
excellent.
Guys, we need to band together and we need to rate this movie better. We need to positive review bomb it.
They'd be hating.
They
I'm gonna
really
watch it.
are.
That's next on my list. If something doesn't come out like before our show, because I want to make sure that when we do As Above, So Below, it's on Vara's channel. Since not that it really matters, but because she loves that movie, so I want to make
do.
sure that we review it there. So maybe next week, unless something else comes up. And The Curse of La Llorona is definitely on the list now. I can't believe I haven't seen this. I don't think I knew this was Conjuring. Oh, it says it right on the top. Well,
Whoops. I
if
think
only I knew how to read.
I think for our holiday time, maybe around Christmas, we need to do a Lord of the Rings marathon.
Oh wait,
I think
I
think
might
that
wait,
would be
but if not, we can.
perfect.
I'll wait for the review then, because
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking about doing what X-Ray suggested and like watching
Yeah, definitely.
it live.
But then we could still talk about it for multiple
We'll
hours.
save it. Yeah, we'll save it.
But that would be a really good idea, trying to watch it potentially like behind a supporter paywall or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Let us know what you guys think, chat. A2's in.
I would be absolutely insufferable if I was watching it. I'd be like, did you know he broke his toe when he kicked that helmet? I'm that type of
Pause
person.
it.
Make you pause every
Look
5
at this.
seconds.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at the facial expression. Look at the emotion.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
All right, Conjuring. We give it 2 thumbs up.
2
Last
big
Rites.
thumbs up.
2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. What was that from? I think that was from like Clueless when he says it. Like
Yeah.
I say that all the time, and I'm like, what 90s movie did I get that from? I think it was Clueless. The burnout like stoner dude is like, we give it 2 enthusiastic thumbs up, something like that. No, I took it as mine now.
That's
Um,
okay.
All right. We have one more article to talk about. I actually didn't look at this yet, so this is all going to be new to me. We could do without these common tropes in horror games. A camera, well, that's a shot. A camera mechanic. Five Nights at Freddy's, I get it. The premise is that you're a security guard who must watch the cameras and track the movements of those possessed animatronics. Fatal Frame, the classic horror series that started this trend and made fighting off ghosts with a camera cool, and then Outlast reinvented things with its found footage style camcorder gameplay, giving that the genre was in a craze at the time.
The worst part about articles like this is that they complain about very simple mechanics that I think most gamers like. And as you scroll down and the article progresses, it gets more and more into, of course, that political slant where they start to complain about depictions of women
Oh.
and how horrible it is that sometimes there's families being torn apart. Like it starts off with just, I would say, complaining about very small things that most people like in games. So it proves how out of touch this journalist is, and then it completely devolves from there. I think it's like the last three are, in my opinion, the worst of their opinions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's who published this?
It's The Gamer. I think
Okay,
it's
the
yeah.
gamer. So I don't have a problem with found footage stuff. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest though, Outlast scared the crap out of me and I couldn't even finish it.
Yeah, Outlast is kind of tough.
So it scared me, but I also didn't find myself getting really pulled into the story.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I like playing horror games, but if it's not something like Dead by Daylight, for example, that's just something I play for fun. It's online and it's kind of like for giggles and then
It's
playing
good
with
to pass
friends.
the
It's fun.
time.
Yeah, exactly. There still is some lore to it, but yeah, I just didn't find myself liking the Outlast thing, and like things in insane asylums and stuff really freaking creep me out. Which I know is the point. I know, chat, but I couldn't do it. So I didn't finish those games. Five
You
Nights at
prefer to go
Freddy's.
through the insane asylums like in Batman where you're sneaking around and beating everybody up
Exactly.
instead
I like
of
to
getting
beat
beat
the
up.
crazy people.
Yeah.
And like Resident Evil, we get a lot of crazy stuff, but I love the stories on Resident Evil. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with getting scared because Leon's there.
Mhm.
Mhm. Searching for fuses, which is really funny because that was like a popular complaint for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. So I feel this one a little bit. They're not talking about that. They're talking about Resident Evil 7, which is I'm fine with that. I like the puzzles with Resident Evil, but I don't know if you've seen any gameplay of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. They made it to where the family was so OP, like there was just like no surviving really.
Yeah.
Because you had to like go all the way across the map to like find a fuse, to go
Ugh.
back into the basement, to start up the generator, and then open the gate, get up to the gate, run to it. But the family had a chance to close it on you, and they had this one thing where like the grandpa was like you could feed him blood. Like,
Yeah.
and he could sense where you were. So you're trying to, and I'm just like, listen, they needed to level that game out, which it's sad because I like the Gun Media, that's the company that made it, and I like what they do, and they were very with the development of it. People were like, let us pre-order it, and they were like, no. We aren't going to let you pre-order it until you get to have some gameplay. So they released the demo, and I really respected that because not a lot of developers do that. They just want the money. So I really respected that, but they just totally
Missed the mark.
They did not level the playing field at all. If you were playing as a family, you pretty much were guaranteed to win the game. But if you were one of the survivors, you're dying.
Yeah. That's tough.
You're just dead already. Don't even bother. So there's my fuse rant. So I guess I agree with this one. Searching for fuses. I hate it. Fast draining flashlight batteries. Well, you got to conserve it. It sounds to me like whoever wrote this
They
article
don't like
needs
the
to just get
survival
good.
elements.
They just need to get good, is what I'm getting
they're
from this.
complaining about very simple systems that I feel are in every horror game, but instead
Yeah.
of like explaining that, oh, it's for the survivability purpose, they're just sitting here complaining because, yeah, like you said, they just need to get good.
Exactly. I always say, get good, you scrub. Okay. Locked doors you'll never access.
Maybe you should learn to play the game and learn
yeah.
how to figure out how to open the doors.
Yeah.
Man, there's not a magic key that opens every door. How dare these developers make
I have
this
to actually
game?
play.
I know.
Yeah, at this point they're just crying. Melee weapons breaking after a few uses. Well, I mean that seems realistic. If I had a stick and I hit like 10 people
It's
with it, it
gonna
would probably
break.
it's gonna break. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a gun. If you have the gun, you're eventually going to run out of bullets. It's just the way that it goes.
Man, that happened to be on Chronos. They give you like 5 bullets and it takes like 6 to kill these
Yeah.
monsters. So I was just getting brutally murdered.
But I feel like this is a staple video game experience.
These people want the easy ones, the like
They
endless
do.
ammo where you don't have to stop and pick it up. Like it's just a free
One-hit
range sandbox
kills.
world. Yeah. Nope. Being forced to hide from your enemies. Well, they clearly don't know how to play Dead by Daylight then. Goodness.
Yeah, I mean that's half the gameplay.
It is. I don't. So, what do they say here? Especially common in games where you're defenseless, you often have to no choice but to hide in lockers, underneath beds, or it's called stealth. Have you
Right.
like what?
Stealth and tactics, and I know that I love to Leroy around in games, and I hate being stealthy, and I just want to kill and cause as much damage as possible. But they have these systems in the game because this is the way that they made the game.
Yeah.
If you've got Michael Myers chasing you around, you're most likely going to have to hide at some point.
Yes, and he's probably gonna open up the closet that you're hiding in and kill you, but you gotta at least try. I'm
Yeah.
not great at stealth because I'm very much like, okay, like there's so many
I'm
games
not
where I have
either.
to force myself to be stealthy because I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
If I just run in here and start blasting, I got this. But
I
then,
usually
like, you
end
know,
up stealthy
die.
if there's a group of like 5 for the first one, maybe 2, and after that it's just full on. All right, I have to kill them. What can I do? Here's a grenade.
I know, like in Batman when you like accidentally hit the wrong button and you like
That's it.
tackle somebody when
It's
you're
over.
like up and I'm like, oh crap, okay, here we go, we're doing this.
Yep.
Oops. Chase sequences. So I don't like they're calling these horror game tropes. Okay, so if you
These are
remove
just
all
the
this-
horror game mechanics.
know.
That's it.
So I just don't. I don't understand. Like you remove all this, then what kind of game do we have?
Right. Like what do they want from horror games? Do they really just want a dark action game? Because they don't want to have to do anything that requires stealth or hiding or conservation, like conserving your ammunition and your batteries. Like they just want a blank world where they can do whatever they want. But that's not what the horror genre is about.
No, not at all. Make your own game. A narrative
And here
involving
we
a missing
go.
spouse or partner. Oh, they're
Yeah.
upset.
Oh no, guys. How dare they make his wife disappear? How dare they not give her agency?
So what? Alan Wake, James Sunderland, Sebastian Castellanos. I probably said that wrong. It's okay. Ethan Winters, all in similar outfits of an olive green. Oh, now they're coming at their outfits. Don't
Yeah,
wear olive
now
green,
their
boys.
outfits aren't acceptable because they're all too similar.
It's called staying with the theme. Hello, like what are they supposed to be in freaking
Ne-
Hawaiian
They
shirts?
want them in the Seth Rogen Call of Duty skins where he's in this awful green suit. Or they want him in a unicorn skin.
Sorry, I just pictured Ethan Winters in a unicorn skin, and I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't
don't-
need that in my life.
I don't know about that, but yeah, they say this is the point is that scroll down just a tiny bit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, the point is that this has been way overdone in horror game narratives, and maybe the end goal could come up with more originality. I don't know. I feel like sure you might have a missing spouse in a game, but each of those stories are unique. They're not really similar except for
No.
I don't know, family member disappears and you have to look for them. That's not a bad storyline. It's very emotionally impactful and it makes you feel connected to these characters because if Ethan Winters is going to chase, I don't know, his best friend's sister, nobody cares. But we care when he's going after his wife or a spouse.
Yeah, it's not. So I haven't played all of these, but I know the James Sunderland is from
Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Alan Wake. I actually haven't played those games, but
Ugh. Alan Wake 1 was amazing and then Alan Wake 2 was
it was not good.
atrocious. The sweet
Mm.
baby ink effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And now we're getting into insensitive portrayals of mental health. How dare they call people crazy? They're
Not
probably
in horror games.
Yeah, they're probably upset because they should really be in the asylums.
I
They're
mean-
just mad that we know that these things used to exist and we want them back.
Because we want to put them in there because they're insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. It's
A little too close to home for them.
so now they're upset about mental health being in horror games. Got it.
Yep.
It was all in your head. You were the villain. I mean, I don't consider that. Okay, let's see. What does it say? There are horror games where you get to play as a villain, i.e., Dead by Daylight, Karen. What is that? Carry On?
Yeah, carry on.
And the Texas
Carrion.
Chainsaw Massacre. And there are horror games where the main twist is that you were the villain in the story all along, or that everything was just in your head. Silent Hill 2 will forever remain iconic for this. But again, Martha is Dead, Layers of Fear, and Detention had this trope too. The Evil Within also reveals that everything took place inside the STEM machine.
I genuinely don't know what they want from video games anymore. Like, after looking at this list, what is it that they truly want? They don't want any twists in the stories. They don't want any of these simple mechanics. They just are here to complain. And this is a major problem with the video game journalism scene. These people are activists. They don't actually want to play games. They don't care about video games. And this, to me, really highlights that because they're not praising anything with games. Even if I play a title that I don't like, I say what could make it better or what I would have expected or liked out of an experience. They're not even taking the time to do that. They're just saying every single
Meh.
trope and story element ever is bad.
Yeah, that's so. What I get from this is they want a sandbox horror game where it's all sunshine and rainbows because the flashlights don't always work, so they need something. The husband is the one that should go missing because then it'll be okay, but he can't be wearing green or gray because that's lame. They want, Hawaiian
It's so
shirts or something.
ridiculous.
Like I don't even know. I don't know.
Why did they have to bring up their outfits?
I know, and they're like, by the way, they always wear green shirts. That's so lame. I can't even. We want bright colors and rainbows over here.
Guess.
We don't want to have to work for our games. Okay, we want to win. We're used to getting trophies all the time. So
yeah, the
when we play a
participation
game-
trophies.
Yes. So when we play a game, we want to win immediately.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here we go. Risk it. Seems like they want an interactive movie where their hand is held the whole way through. Exactly.
Yeah, that's probably why they like Alan Wake 2 so much.
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
I always thought that James looked like Leon's dad because they got the same hair.
They are pretty similar. Well, and apparently they're dressed exactly the same.
Yeah, they better not bring Leon into this, okay? Because that bomber jacket, 10 out of 10. Okay, I love bomber jacket Leon while he's suplexing old ladies.
Yeah.
And they can't. I mean, come on. Like Resident Evil, definitely. There's no trope there. They tried other things. Okay,
Oh yeah,
and then everyone
Resident
got
Evil
mad.
has a very I'm going to use the D word, diverse set of stories and characters, and they've always done it really well.
Yeah. No, it's that article was. I lost some brain cells. Thank you for that, Vara.
Yeah.
I lost some brain cells reading that one. It was tough.
That's the media for you, always complaining about video games.
They have nothing better to do. Just like don't play video games then, okay? Leave us alone.
And now they wonder why they're losing their jobs. Gee whiz. I wonder what amazing journalism they're putting out this week. And then you see that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm just double checking to make sure nobody, because I always forget to do this on Saucy. Make sure nobody like made memes. Okay, no, there's no memes. All right. Okay. Mom jeans, sure.
Sydney Sweeney, you've got great jeans.
Yes. Listen, American Eagle jeans are great. I liked them before Sydney Sweeney put them on, but really because I'm short, that's why. And they make them to where like if you aren't a size 0, I know other places have this now, but American Eagle kind of like did it first and they had like the more comfortable ones. So I started buying their stuff because when I was in like high school, I always had like the ripped bottoms, which are coming back in style now because I saw those at American Eagle. I didn't have to buy them that way though. I was just short and they were so long that they ripped. But I like it because they have like, sizes and then like short and long and medium for length. So I can always get
Yep.
the short ones. It's
Yep.
great. It's great. I highly, highly suggest American Eagle, ladies. Risk it. I didn't say anything. Also, Risk It. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. Why did the ghost go to the bar? Because it was out of booze. You know what? Oh crap! I gotta upload clips. You're lucky this time, Risk It. You almost got the boo this man clip. I gotta upload. I gotta upload all my like assets here because I made a second like
Another stream room.
yeah, I made
Yep.
another thing. So I'll add my Wickets World stuff there. Next
Got
time you're
lucky.
gonna get booed. You know what I'm talking about. I have the half baked
Yep.
thing where it's like boo this man. It's my favorite. I love when I get to play it. I like booing the chat. AP, thank you for the 5. I took a hangry llama on a picnic. Forgot to tell him alpaca lunch. AP, you dished out your
That
best
first one was great, and since then you haven't been able to replicate the magic.
It's okay. We still appreciate
It's
the
still
dad
good,
jokes,
though.
so that was a good one. I'm sure somebody, at least one person in the chat, got a giggle out of that one. Oh yeah, Mazda probably did. Oi oi, hello. Mazda's the one that I was telling you about that yelled at a kid on Call of Duty.
Haven't we all?
He was like swearing, and the kid was like, "My mom can hear you," and he's like, "I don't care. Go get your mom." Like he wanted to talk to her mom, his mom, whatever. That's Mazda. Poncho from the Canadian too. They wanted interactive movies easier to review.
Yeah, definitely. They were all very upset that they didn't get early codes to Silk Song, and they actually had to play it at the same time as those darn gamers. They were very
darn
upset over
gamers.
that.
By the way, what are you thinking of Silk Song? All my friends, like, listen, I have so many friends that are into it, and not just you that I see, but Discord, it's like, it's playing Silk Song, it's playing, so like, it's
It's
just
so good.
because I was in a group chat, and when it dropped, they were like, guys, because it was like, they're like, oh, next week, by the way, it's coming out. And people are like, what?
Yep. They gave a
And
2-week notice, which was crazy.
yeah, so you're loving it. How
It
are you almost
is-
done?
I think I'm a little bit more than halfway through. So, because I'm taking my time, so my playthrough will probably end up being like 30 hours. But I know that there's people that have beat it in like 15 or 20, which is cool, but it packs a punch.
Yeah.
I think it's just as good as the first one though. Like it definitely lived up to the expectations.
Yeah.
But if you've never played the first one, you probably should, because this one definitely has a bit more of a difficulty spike initially. So
I watched friends play it. Because like I have a few friends that are just obsessed with Hollow Knight. When we went to PAX East, they dressed up as Hollow Knight, like made homemade costumes, and it was super
that's
cool.
cool.
If I can find a picture, I'll send it to you in our messages. I'm sure I can find one. It was fun. Have you ever gone to PAX East or anything like that? Or
Yeah,
no, you're not
I
really.
go to PAX East usually.
We were
almost
probably at the
every
same
year.
one, and we didn't even know.
Probably, yeah, probably. One of these years.
Yeah, maybe next year I'll go and I'll try to find you. I'll come in a Hollow Knight costume so you can find me, like the short person in the middle. Just like when I went, it was the new Yoshi game at the time for Switch was being released. I'm trying to think of I think Subnautica developers were there. So I think it was maybe like 7 years ago. I want to say 7 or 8 years ago, possibly.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, that's when I went. It was great.
I didn't go last year, but I did go the year before, and I used to go consistently.
Yeah, I'm sure it's getting kind of not like worse, but years ago, I'm sure it was
A
much
lot
better
of conventions have
considering-
kind of fallen off.
Yeah, that's true. And I can only imagine gaming with these like journalists and developers that are just kind of retarded.
Yeah.
So. I still would like to go again. It was fun. They had the one, I think they canceled one, wasn't there? Like, or they just don't do it anymore. Like the South one. I think it was in like Texas or
Yeah,
Texas?
I don't think they do that one anymore.
Yeah. So I think is East the only one? No, they probably have West too.
No,
right?
they have East and West.
East and West. Okay.
Yeah.
Oculus for 5. Blabs would be a wonderful guest for the show. Well, she's already invited herself on, so she'll be here someday. And that's another thing. If you guys have any like suggestions, you can leave them in the comments below or hop in Discord, and let us know there.
For sure.
Polar Bear Productions for $4.99. UVU graduate here. Why wasn't this venue secured by campus police and UCSO? Justice and accountability now. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that we just don't have answers to. I mean, even at this point, we don't even know. There's nobody that they don't have anybody, right? They've gotten 2 suspects and they've released them both. So, like, there's a million questions.
Yeah, I hope someone gets held accountable for this. It would be even more devastating, especially to their family, that this person is just going to be running out free to live their life. So, and Charlie had his own security. Yeah, what? I mean, so did Trump,
Yeah.
and look what happened in Pennsylvania. It's definitely something that makes you think. You know, like I'm not going to go full on into conspiracy theory territory here, but this is why we do, because things like this happen, and we're like, how?
Exactly.
Yeah, again, like we did, if anyone who was just tuning in or tuned in later, we did in the beginning of the stream, give our respects to Charlie Kirk and his family. It's devastating. Like I have been walking in a fog all day because of it, because I just wasn't not that we're ever ready for some just devastating news to hit us, but this wasn't on the calendar for today, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely not. And I agree with theater. Security people need to start checking rooftops. Like, when you're surrounded by these buildings, you should have at least one person securing them. It shouldn't be that difficult.
I mean, you would think.
Yeah.
You would think, but that's what I mean. Like, it's scary times right now. Like, I want to hope that things aren't going to get worse, but the cultural war, I think it's just getting started right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just praying for their family, and I do hope the only thing that they now justice. That's it. That's all we can hope for them. There's a meme in Discord. Oh gosh, risk it. Way to make me look like a 40-year-old, but it's okay because I'm just kidding. Risk it. So here you go.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I wanted to tease him because it's now this is gonna be the nut scared me. Now every time I look at Vara, I'm gonna get scared.
I think I fit a little bit too much into that role.
You do actually. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Risk It. The first official Vara and Virtue Show meme. Well done.
It's pretty good.
Vara is that in real life?
Kind of. Spot the difference.
Can't. They're the same picture. Here. You'll get a like. Thank you, Risk It. Why is that hot? Well, you know what? To each his own. Not gonna shame you. So it's getting to that time. What do you have coming up?
Just the same old, same old. This week, of course, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be playing some more Hollow Knight Silksong. I know Borderlands 4 is coming out. I'm not particularly excited for it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll stream it once. I'm not even sure because Silksong is so good. And then, obviously Monday evenings, I'm on with Ryan Kinnell, and Wednesdays right here for the Vara and Virtue Show.
It's been fun so far. So next week, don't forget, guys, I'll make sure I post it in my community tab and everything. But next week will be on her channel because we're rotating. So don't forget that. And I don't know what our movie is going to be next week. It may be As Above, So Below, but we might save that. But until
The Long Walk comes out this week.
Oh yeah, that's
so
right.
So we might be watching that.
It'll probably be that. I'm actually really interested in that. So I think next week will be The Long Walk. We'll say as soon as we don't have something new, we'll do As Above, So Below.
Yeah.
And again, guys, any suggestions that you guys might have, feel free to put it in the comments below or in Discord. I think some people were putting some on Twitter, but it's better to do it comments or Discord because things get buried over on Twitter.
That is very true.
And also just a quick note, if you haven't subbed and you like my stuff, go ahead and hit the sub button. Because I'm approaching 10K. Woo! So almost there. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate all the love, and I hope you guys are liking you know, the show. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And yes, Risket's got, yeah, make sure you are sub to Vara's channel as well. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Oh yeah, I have Wicked's World tomorrow. Well, if you're here, you're probably gonna hang out. So you'll see what I got going on. Gaming, Wicked's World. I want to get into Chronos more because I really was enjoying it. And I'm
It
getting into the
sounds really
swing of it.
fun.
It is.
I'm a
It's
little
fun.
sad I haven't gotten to play it yet.
Oh, well, not really because you're playing Silk Song, right?
I am,
it's
so
worth it. You can play it next.
priorities.
You can play it next.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right. I'm gonna send you, it looks like Epic Mike is live right now. So go say hi to Mike. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.